Good evening, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Please let me know that you can hear your girl. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am glad to be on tonight. You guys can hear me? Can you just let me know that you can hear me? Because I'm not sure if you can hear me. Just please let me know if you can hear me. Okay, Tati says she can hear me. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in on this evening, on tonight. I am glad that you guys tuned in on tonight. Listen, I want us to engage and let's have a great conversation together. That's the key, together. God bless you, Brother Sean. God bless you. God bless you. Tatiana says, I can also see you clearly as well. Okay, great, 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 great. That's good. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you guys are on tonight. So, yes, I wanted to talk about breaking generational cycles, right? I feel like that is an important topic and it's something that we should talk about more often than less because I'm African American, as you can see. And in most African American households, um, well, let me go back. We're going to talk about breaking generational cycles. The main topic that I want to talk about is communication, communicating. And as we know, in most African American households, communication is one of our biggest struggles. If we can really be honest, communication is one of our biggest struggles. Tatiana says this topic is so needed to talk about. I wish you was right here sitting with me, Tatiana. You should get dressed and come sit right next to me and let's have an engaging conversation. Um, so yes, so earlier I posted a picture that had my girls um, sitting downstairs in the basement, and I did not know why they was down here. So when I asked them why they was down here, they replied that we was down here having a sisters meeting. They was talking about their issues amongst one another. Mind you, this is not something that my husband nor I had told them that they needed to do. Not directly, not at this moment at least, but throughout the years as we're raising them, we're teaching them how communication is important. And I'm gonna rewind back because when I first got married to my husband, I didn't really know how to communicate. Communication wasn't a thing that we did in my family. Growing up, um, raised in the time that I was raised in, communication wasn't something that we did, right? So when I met him, he came from a family that communicated. So when it came time for us to have conversations, or even when we had our differences, I would shut down because that was my way of communicating. And that agitated his soul, okay? When I tell you that did something to him because he's a communicator. He needs to talk. He needs to hash out the issues. He needs to resolve the issues. Me, I was taught to kind of just brush it off, keep going, and move forward. Life goes on. You'll get over it, you know? That was my communication growing up. I grew up in a household where it was you do as I say, and that's it. Don't ask no questions, really. Just do it because you're the child and I'm the adult. And I know I'm not the only one that grew up like this. Was it wrong? Um, I wouldn't say that it was wrong because what I found out is that every parent is going to kind of parent the way they know how and do the best that they could do. And most of the times we do things according to how we see it to be normal. So maybe my parents was raised in such a manner like that. But what happened with me being that I was married to a communicator, I was forced. to change. And when I tell you that it helped me greatly to learn how to communicate. Like I could talk, but communication and communicating is on a different level than just talking and talking to be heard. Communicating is learning to hear the other side and learning to take in what they're saying, hearing their perspective, and understanding one another and coming to a resolve. So, yes, so when I saw my children doing that, it brought joy to my heart seeing them being able to communicate and hash out their issues on their own. So that means that what I've been teaching them, what I've been showing them, because they see me struggle with communication, communicating with my family. And I'm a grown up. We're all in our 40s. And still to this day, we have issues with learning how to communicate the appropriate way. We can talk, but communicating is, we still lack in that area. And I'm praying that God will help us to be able to get um, better with that. Okay, let me read some of the comments. Tatiana said, right, communication is key in any healthy relationship. That's right, and that's what I always say. If you want to have a healthy relationship, and I don't care if it's between boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't care if it's between mother, daughter, sister, brother, whatever relationship it is, if you want to have a healthy relationship, you must be open to communicating and honest communication. Because guess what? You're not going to always hear what you want to hear. Okay? So you got to be open to honest communication. We're not always right. We're not. We're not always right. We don't always get it right. Right? So Tatiana says, that's not all bad though. I believe parents can be too lenient today. They want to be best friends with the kids rather than disciplinaries. You're right. You know, and it's hard because being honestly, you don't want your children to hate you. You don't. You don't want to have your kids not wanting to be around you. So it's hard. It's hard. I'm gonna tell you now, raising kids in this day and age, it's hard. It's not easy. So I want to say shout out to all the parents, whether you are single, married, whatever your status is. Parenting is not easy. And I want to shout you out today. You guys are doing it. You're doing a darn good job. So do the darn thing, okay? Do it. You're doing it. Tatiana said, we have learned so much from you and daddy. That's true. And that's another thing is I've learned too is that kids, you can't just tell them to do stuff. Like that's not working in this day and age. You can't just tell them, do this because I'm telling you to do it. I mean, rightfully so. Yeah, if you think about it, you're the parent, and yeah, that's the way it should go. But honestly, we're dealing with a different breed. Okay, honestly, we're different. We're dealing with a different breed from my day and age. Like I was scared of my parents. Like okay, for real. Like my parents would give me a certain look, and I'm putting myself back together real quick. They didn't even have to put hands on me. That's how it was back then. But this day and age, you got to remember that children have access to a lot of information. So if I tell, like I have a 10-year old, and I tell her to do something, and she don't understand while I'm telling her to do something, sometimes she will ask me, like, why do I have to do it? Somebody would say, that's disrespectful. You shouldn't be asking your parent or your mom why. But one thing I want my children to understand, I want my kids to understand why. And it's beyond me saying, oh, because I'm your parent, I'm your mother, and you have to do what I say. Like that's not okay. I want you to understand why you're doing X, Y, and Z. I want you to do this because this is going to save your life. I want you to not go walking that way because danger is over there. I want them to understand why they shouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z. So no, we got to come out of that. Stop saying, "Oh, do it because I'm your parent." No, let's help our children to understand why they should and should not be doing the things that some of them do. Right? Do I have any witnesses on here? Um, Robert said that's why this support group is so important. Sean says, thank you, sis. You are as well. Thank you, brother. Thank you. And you're a great father. Great. Tatiana said, how do you as a parent navigate parenting if your children are so different from one another? Well, when I have 8 kids, and when you have that many kids, I mean, even if you have 2 kids, there is no child that is going to be the same. The way they see life is different from the next one. The way they view life is different. The way they take in information is different. The way they handle things is different. So what that means you as a parent have to handle them differently. You have to handle them accordingly. And I always say this. I always use me as an example. Whenever I'm doing something or I'm sharing information, I always use myself as an example. Now I have 7 girls. Okay, so gosh, y'all can imagine the attitudes, the different way that they deal with one another, the different personalities. Is a lot of differences in our home, in our household. And sometimes it can get a little crazy. But I've learned earlier while they was younger that I can't deal with them the same. I have to deal with them accordingly. Like I have one daughter, she's more sensitive than the next. Then I have another daughter that she's real like stone like me. Like I could take a lot. Like I could take a couple of beatings and still be strong. You won't see a tear come down my eye. But and she's like me, so I can handle her a little harsh. I can tell her straight up X, Y, and Z, and she gets it, and it won't like tear her down. But then I have another one that's so sensitive that if she doesn't like to be wrong, she don't like to hear anything negative about herself. If she does, life is over. I can't move on. It's just so dramatic, very dramatic. So you have to deal with each child accordingly. And of course, that means that you have to actually know your children. How do you get to know your children? That means you have to spend time with your children, and that's quality time. So there are times where I spend times individually with each individual, and we just have conversations. We just sit down, chat, and talk, and have conversations because you got to also remember that there are different stages of life. The way they were at 5 years old, you're not going to get the same child at 10 years old. So it's different stages. You want to know what are they dealing with, how they feel, what's going on in the inside. Because remember, they got to go through these hormonal changes, and that's a whole nother story. Okay? A whole nother story. Okay? Let me read some of these comments. Brother Sean says, I tell the kids you can ask what you want to ask within reason. Make it respectful in words and tone. Absolutely. And that's the key. It has to be respectful. Must be respectful. Okay? No question or doubt about that. Because I am not your friend. I am still your mother. And I still can discipline you. Okay? Tatiana said, you always say respect is earned, not just given. That's the greatest parenting advice. That's right. And I say that often. If you want respect, you must give respect. Okay? And that's across the board. And that's with, I don't care if it's with my grandmother, my mother, my uncle, the little 5-year-old baby. If you want respect, you have to give respect. Okay? Respect. I always say this. Respect is due to a dog, okay? Give respect. You want respect? Give respect. All right? I never have a problem with anybody having respect. Tatiana said, that's the truth. Every child is different. Absolutely. Tatiana said, you are the parenting coach with great experience, so you can speak on this topic. And Brother Sean says, and the kids think they're being slighted when you deal with the one more so sternly and others more lightly. They don't understand. They think everyone should get all the same on every level. Exactly, right. And you're right, because I had to have that conversation because they actually came to me. It was like, oh, why do I always get it this way and that one gets like that? And I had to actually explain to them, like, this is why. This is why, because you are this way and you're this way and this is why. But y'all still getting it. It's not like any of y'all are getting away. It's just that one gets a little bit different than the other, you know? So, Brother Troy says powerful, spending quality time. Absolutely, absolutely. Quality time is a must. You know, when you're trying to build relationship, and like I said, with any relationship, quality time is a must. You know, you have to know the person that you're trying to build a relationship with. Like that's the only way you're going to get to know them. Quality time. Quality time. But Tatiana said Barbara Ferrer, she just cracked me up with that illustration. That's right. Respect on all ends. Respect is due to a dog. So yes, so I'm going to talk about breaking generational cycles because there are things that are holding us back from getting to greatness. Okay, and these things stem back to our childhood, and we don't even know it. We don't even know it because it's never been brought to our attention, or sometimes we're just so comfortable with the way things are. And this happens to a lot of us. We get comfortable with things and we don't want to change anything because this is who I am. I'm in my 40s, 30 years old, and I'm not changing nothing now. What you see is what you get. That's what some of us would say, right? That's what some of us would say. Bree said, talking about me. Yes, I'm always talking about you, Bree. Lady B says, my mother always lumped us all together. If one of us messed up, she always say, y'all. Oh, woo, girl. Listen, Lady B, if I say y'all, trust me, I have a daughter on here right now. She will correct me every single time. She'll be like, no, it is not y'all. I did not do it. I wasn't even here for it. So no, it was not y'all. She said, please do not put me in that. So no. So that's what I'm saying. There was things that our parents did when we was growing up that wouldn't fly with our children nowadays. In this century, in this day and age, with all this information across the board, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Oh, yes, she didn't have nothing to do with it. Yep, that's exactly how she said. Rihanna, Tatiana said, Rihanna, right. She talked about me tonight too. That's right. I'm talking about all of y'all. I'm talking about all of you. This is about y'all tonight. But it's good because, you know, it shows grow up and it shows that you guys are growing and it shows that you guys are actually listening and paying attention. And that's one thing. As a parent, we pour so much into our children. We sacrifice so much for our children. And we don't want any of that to be in vain. We don't want any of that to be in vain. So when we see it grow, when we see the seeds that we plant grow, and we see you guys utilizing it, it does something to us. It's like, I don't know, like I said, like when I saw you guys down here talking and mending out your issues, I saw growth with y'all. And it was a beautiful thing because, like I said, in my family, we don't know how to communicate. Okay? We can do each other wrong. And this is how this is how we are. We won't talk to each other for days. Sometimes it'll be months. And then when we finally talk, we'll go back to like nothing happened. Well, that's how it used to be with me, but I stopped that from happening with me because I'm like, no, we're going to talk about what happened, what took place, why I was angry, why I was distant, and what you did, you know, hurt my feelings. So I'm learning how to communicate, and my children is seeing it. It's like, whew, thank you, God, because I don't want my children to grow up and not being able to communicate and talk to one another. You are family, okay? And we be like, Brother Sean said, and we be like, Mom, what you mean, y'all? She said, shut up. I said, y'all. Right. That's exactly how it went in my household, too. Shut up, y'all. Yup. And Tatiana says, I guess we're the examples tonight, Brianna. Y'all sure are. Y'all knew I was talking about this tonight. Brianna said, did you talk about Ham, such a blessing? Oh. God bless you, Sister Natasha Jones. God bless you. God bless you. Yes, Brianna. Okay, so my daughter Brianna wants me to talk about how much of a blessing she is. Okay, all of my children are a great blessing from God. Okay, if I had to do it over again, I will have each and every single one of them again and again and again and again. They are a great blessing to me and my husband. I do not regret not a single one of my children. I thank God for them every single day. Even when they get on my nerve, okay? Even when they get on my nerve. But they are a true great blessing. My okay. Pastor Bob said parent support groups really help us get insight and a place to express what we go through. Excellent. Yes, they sure do. Parent support groups is necessary. And this guy, listen, guys. So I have a parent support group that meets every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Mondays is at 7:30 p.m. We meet via Zoom at 7:30 p.m. Wednesdays we meet at 8 p.m. via Zoom. I always put the link up on my page. And on Fridays, we have family fun night. So it's straight fun for the whole entire family. And it's fun. It helps you to, let off the week that you had going into the weekend. And, it's fun for the whole entire family. So I want you guys to join us whenever you can. The conversation is great. It's awesome. It's great. I'm doing this live tonight because I just wanted to go live tonight. But I like going on Zoom because it's more of how you say it's more it's more engaging as well as it's more family oriented. So I like to have those conversations there, and it's more private as well. So here we air out our dirty laundry. We talk about how much our kids get on our nerves. Yes, we do. We do. We talk about our kids. Yes, 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 we do. We do, we do, we do, we do, we do. So yes, so guys, yes, make sure you join us for the parent support groups. Brother Sean said yes, they are a true blessing. Hey, Zay Zay, love yo, love you, love you. I pray all is well with you. Tatiana said, yeah, we are a true blessing to our parents. We love them. Yes, and our kids are good parents, are good kids. And let me tell you something, okay? Um, our kids are not perfect. And I'm going to tell you something else. I'm not perfect, okay? And I don't have all the answers, and I don't claim to have all the answers. And that's the great thing about me, is that I'm always searching and looking to grow and to learn. And even if the growing is learning is coming from my children, I am open to learning and growing. I don't got all the answers. I don't know anybody on this earth that got all the answers. So yes, so that's one thing about me. I don't got all the answers. What I do have and the information that I do have, I love to share with others. The experience that I have had, I love to share with others if it can help somebody. And that's what we all should be doing. We all should be helping one another with our life experiences. And I always say this. I don't believe that God allowed us to go through things, get through it, to keep it to ourselves. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe that He allows us to go through things, get through it, so we can help somebody else. So I need you guys to start reaching out and helping others. Start sharing your testimony. Start sharing your story. Start sharing how God brought you out and over. Okay? Start sharing that. Stop holding it back. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Tatiana said, parent support is so needed. There have been so many breakthroughs on Zoom meetings. Yes, it has. We have really had some great breakthroughs on the Zoom meetings. And parent support is so needed. And I'll say this. I wish I had this early on when I was a young mother. I'm raising my children. I wish I had a group that I could just click one button and there it is. I have a family of support. I wish I've had that. but I didn't. But now we have it, and so we ask that you utilize it because it is a great source. We have resources like crazy, okay? And the program that I work with is JCC. They have so many free programs. I mean, free. And the majority of them, matter of fact, I think all of them are actually virtual. So you definitely should get involved in some of these programs. And I will put the resource out there and I will keep sharing the information for you guys to get this information. It's so needed. I was on a phone call with a parent the other day, and before I can even get my full reasoning of my call, she's just like, when is school opening up? You know, when is the school going to open up? These kids got to go. They got to go. Like, I can't take it no more. They got to go. Like, it's too much. They got to go. My child hate being on a virtual. They hate just online stuff, and they hate that the school is closed, and I can't get through to them. So, so I understand the struggles of parents. I'm here with my kids too, virtual. They hate it too, with a passion. Hate it. They hate it. They hate it. But, this is what we have to deal with right now. And we're trying to keep them safe. So we're doing our best. And yes, Brother Troy says telling our story helps others overcome. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. Tatiana says the programs are free. Yes, the programs are absolutely free. They're absolutely free. Amen. They're absolutely free. So I just want to go over 4 ways um, of overcoming and defeating generational cycles. Okay. Of course, the first thing with anything that you're trying to change, anything that you're trying to be better at, you have to face it. That's the first thing. You have to face it. You have to recognize that there is an issue, that there is something that you need to change or that is necessary to change, right? That's the first step with anything that you do, is facing it, being aware of it, right? Right? So you have to face it. You can't change nothing if you're not willing to face it and look and see what it is that needs to be changed. And I know sometimes it's hard because sometimes it seems like it's telling you that you have a flaw or something, and most of us don't want to recognize that, but it's okay because remember, your goal is to be better. Your goal is to do better, so you have to face it, right? And be aware of that thing, right? Right. Face it. Acknowledge you need to make some changes. Right. Absolutely. And number 2, this is another hard one. Taking ownership of your actions, of the attitudes, of the beliefs, the emotions. A lot of times we like to blame others for the first, we like to blame others for everything that is not positive. We do not like to take ownership of our own doings, ownership of our own wrongs. We don't want to take ownership of that, right? Acknowledge is tough with anything. Of course, yeah, it is. It is tough, and we know that. We know that. We know that it's tough, but it's necessary. We never said that changing and evolving was going to be easy. Now, who said that? Nobody ever said it was going to be easy. So, but it's worth it. I can tell you that it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Okay. Yes. Right? Anybody want something to add to that? God bless you, Vanessa. How are you? How you doing? You're good? God bless you. Yes, so the other thing is to observe. And when you observe, you're going to observe with purpose. Okay? You're going to observe so that you can handle Um, so they say, for instance, a situation come up and the thing that you're trying to change happens again. You want to observe your triggers. What makes you want to go down that path? What makes you go off the chain? What makes you, you know, get really irate? Find that trigger, right? Find the trigger and nip it in the butt, right? Nip it in the butt so it doesn't overtake you every time a situation happens, right? Right? Amen. So, and the last thing, one more thing that I want you to do is, I always say Google is a man's best friend. So if something that you want to change and you want some help with changing, let's say for instance you want to change and adjust your attitude, Google change your attitude. Google can be your best friend. Trust and believe. And you will find steps, you will find so much information that will help you and lead you and direct you into the direction that you should go. Right? Google. Google. Yes, knowing your triggers are important. Tatiana said, right. Also observe that you have the power to control how you react to others' actions. That's right. I always say, don't let people take you there. You know, some people would intentionally say things and do things to you to take you out of character and bring you out of character. Don't let them take you there. Remember, you are here to change. You are here to better yourself. You are here to evolve. So learn when it's time to ignore some things and learn when it's time to address some things. Okay? Sometimes you gotta ignore some things. Everything don't need a response. Everything don't need a reaction. Okay? Remember, everybody's not for you. Everybody don't want to see you grow. Everybody don't want to see you make it to the next level. So you will have people who will intentionally push that button. Okay? And this goes for family, friends, and definitely foes. Okay? So don't let them take you there because remember, you're trying to change. So whenever you feel that blood boiling up on the inside of you, say, wait a minute, I'm trying to change. Hold up, hold up. I'm trying to change here. Satan, you ain't taking me down that way. Right? And that's right. Google, seek information to assist you in your transformation. Right. Use everything that you can. And the reason why I say Google because we are people who have our phones, we have our laptops, we have our iPads. So I want to make it as simple as possible for you. Because sometimes when you make it too complicated, nothing, they're not going to do anything with that. If the person got to get dressed, go out the door, get in their car, go get gas, and all this to do X, Y, and Z, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen. So simplicity. I like simplicity. Keep it simple. That's what I like. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. With the help of God, and Pastor Robert said, with the help of God, keep your composure, maintain, and keep moving forward. Absolutely. We should be doing everything with the help of God. But for those who are not believers, utilize your strength as well. Brother Sean says, don't give energy to things people present to break you. Shut the whole plot down. That's right. Shut it down. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Say, not today, Satan, not today. Not today. Tatiana says, also acknowledge your growth and how far you've come. That's right. Acknowledge your growth. And even if it seems minor, acknowledge it. Okay? Pat yourself on the back and keep going. Okay? Learn how to de-escalate and redirect. See, my husband here, this is the therapist in him. Okay? Yes. Learn how to de-escalate and redirect. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, guys. So that's what we talked about tonight. I have so many more pointers, but I don't want to go long tonight. So I'm gonna leave those with you guys on tonight, and we can visit this discussion at another time. I don't like to be long-winded because I am not a preacher. So I thank you guys for tuning in on tonight. Listen, if you have any topics that you'd like for us to discuss, if you have um, anything you would like for us to discuss in the parent support group, some topics that you would like to get resources on, you need resources, hit me up in my inbox. If I don't have the immediate information on hand, I will definitely get the information for you. And please don't forget to join us on Mondays at 7:30, Wednesdays at 8 p.m., and on Fridays we have family fun night at 8 p.m. It's fun for the whole entire family. So join us. I will put the link and information up on my page, and it'll be there every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So on tonight, I just want to say thank you again. You guys have a blessed and wonderful night. All right. Take care, guys. God bless. Bye bye.